Hi Year 3, we're really excited today because we are starting our new authors unit. We're going to be reading this amazing story by an author called Robert Swindells, and the title of the book is Ice Palace. I'm going to read you the blurb. Where do I find the blurb? That's right, on the back. I'm going to read you the blurb so we get a feeling of what the story might be about. Starjak, whisper his name, and it was winter in your heart. No one sees Starjak and his hungry wolves when they come in the dead of night. But always a child is missing in the morning. Who can rid the land of this curse and melt the fear in its people's hearts? Only Ivan, who loves his little brother enough to follow him through many dangers to Starjak's cavern. A beautiful, haunting story by a master storyteller. Oh, that gives me tingles, and it sounds ever so frightening. Are you feeling quite brave? Me too. Let's start. So, Ice Palace by Robert Swindells. On the first page, we've got a lovely sketchy picture which looks kind of like mountains and trees and maybe a village in the foreground here. Turn your face into the east wind, and if you could see forever, you would see Ivan's land. Imagine being able to see forever. That sounds incredible. It must be really quite far away then, mustn't it? It is a land where summer is short and pale like a celandine. There's a picture here of a celandine. I had to Google it, to be honest, Year 3. It's a little yellow flower. So summer is short and pale. It's a pale yellow colour like celandine. Winter long and cold as an icicle. Ivan does not live there now, for he grew old long ago and is gone. That makes me think this was written quite some time ago. But the people of the pine woods remember him. Pine woods, that's like Christmas trees are pine trees. So they live in a forest maybe, surrounded by pine trees, pine woods, and they remember Ivan. They remember him all the time, but most of all, they remember him in winter because they are not afraid of winter anymore. So they must have once been afraid of it. I wonder why. They have no need to be afraid because of something Ivan did when he was very small. Gosh, so they were afraid of it, and then Ivan did something in the winter that made them not frightened anymore. That's interesting. This Ivan sounds like an interesting character. I'll skip on here so you can see the words on the board. Here we've got a lovely picture of a couple of children in a village playing. I wonder if one of them is Ivan, a little boy. Ivan and his brother lived in the house of their father, the blacksmith, in a village in the shadow of the great dark forest. So we were right, the foresty area, pine trees all around. The people of the village were poor, but in the summertime they were mostly happy, so that the pale warm air rang with their laughter and their singing as they worked. It's lovely. I can imagine the air being really full of laughter and joy. In the summertime, people are happy and they're relaxed, even though they're poor. But as the short summers gave way to autumn, their songs became sad songs and their laughter thin. Thin laughter. I can imagine it drifting away into the trees, getting quieter and quieter. So as it gets closer to winter, they get more frightened. For they knew that far away to the north, Starjak was greasing the runners of his sled and rounding up his wolves. Now here we've got a lovely picture. And I'm going to guess that this is Starjak, that's the name of a character, and he's sitting on a sled. It's like a sledge that you might go sledging on in the snow, greasing the runners so that it runs really smoothly over the snow. And these here, they look quite ferocious. are the wolves, I think it said, the wolves that pull Starjak's sled. And rounding up his wolves, Starjak, whisper his name, and it was winter in your heart. Can you whisper that name? Starjak, Starjak. It's winter in your heart. This author's really amazing at using language that makes me feel a bit tingly. Hissing over crisp snow in the black of night came Starjak behind his hungry team, hissing over the snow. Their eyes were yellow and their fangs were white, fangs of teeth. When Starjak was in a village, the people lay very still behind their shutters, but always, in the morning, a child was gone. Oh my goodness, this is terrifying. So the people would hear the sledge coming, they would know it was Starjak, they would lie really still, hoping he didn't notice them, but in the morning they would wake up and a child would be gone. Spooky book. For Starjak was known in every pinewood village as the child taker, and those he took were never seen again. One night, when an icy wind whined through the black trees and powdery snow sifted under everybody's doors, Starjak came to Ivan's house. And when Ivan awoke in the morning, his little brother was gone. Wow. So I know that Ivan is some sort of hero because he's made people less scared of the winter, but this is now telling me the story, and it's telling me that Ivan had a really horrible thing happen to him. His little brother was stolen by this thing, person, monster, who knows, called Starjak. Gosh. All the village wept for the blacksmith and his wife, and for little Ivan, who must now play alone. And little Ivan walked in Starjak's sled tracks to the end of the village and stood there a long time, gazing into the north. That makes me think he's missing his brother and he's wondering, where has he gone? Now, that's all we're going to read today. That's just the very start, the first few pages of this story, Ice Palace. I suggest you go away now and you read it to yourselves. Again, you'll find on our WordPress a link that you can click, which has got photographs of the book. Don't read any further than I read, so just read up to page 12 where it says north, and then stop. I don't want you to spoil any more for yourselves, but have a read, have a think about everything I chatted through, and then have a wonder. Think, what's Ivan going to do? Who is this Starjak? I wonder if we can stop him from stealing children. And enjoy. Bye, guys.